How cross-dressing saved me and made me a better person. I honestly didn't expect this to go so far. Like, really, I didn't. What started as a tiny experiment, just me being curious, turned into something I never thought would become such a big part of my life. See, I've always been Tyler in the world. Quiet, awkward, invisible. I'm 5 feet tall, petite, and yeah, an introvert since forever. Talking to people? Hard. Making friends? Harder. I spent most of my life just alone. And somewhere along the way, that loneliness pushed me into something I didn't understand yet. Cross-dressing. It all started one afternoon when I was bored and curious. I sneaked into my mom's wardrobe, don't judge me, and found one of her old party dresses. I remember holding it in my hands, thinking, what if I just try it on? And then I did. The moment I stepped into the dress, wow. I can't even describe it. It hugged my body in all the right places, and the heels I found with it made me stand taller. My posture changed, and suddenly, I didn't feel like Tyler anymore. I went to the mirror and froze. I mean, it was me, but not me.
Tina.
That's the name I gave her in my head. She had long hair, soft curves, a confident smile, everything I didn't have as Tyler. And I couldn't stop staring. I just couldn't. I twirled a little, checked how the fabric fell, ran my hands over my legs and chest, and for the first time in my life, I felt beautiful, alive,
Free.
I spent hours just looking at myself, playing with the dress, imagining how different life would feel if I could always be like this. And that's when I knew I'd fallen in love. Not with the dress, not even just with cross-dressing, but with Tina. She was me, only better, only freer. I kept her a secret for years. No one knew. Not my friends, not my family. It was my little escape, my safe place. I experimented with wigs, makeup, shoes, lingerie, every little thing I could get my hands on to feel more like Tina. Every time I dressed up, I felt alive in a way Tyler never could. Then college happened. I stopped dressing for a while. Too busy with classes, work, a girlfriend. For a while I was just Tyler. Normal, okay, happy-ish. But then, heartbreak hit. She left me after 2 years, and I was crushed. Lonely, depressed, skipping classes, skipping work. I was a mess. One evening, I was cleaning out my wardrobe, trying to distract myself, and I found one of her old dresses. I don't know what came over me, but I just had to put it on. And oh my God, the moment I did, Tina came back. The silky fabric, the way it hugged me, the way my body felt, everything was perfect. I went straight to the mirror and just stared. Hours passed. I twirled, I posed, I laughed at how much I was enjoying myself. And I realized something terrifying but exciting too. Tina wasn't going anywhere. She became my comfort, my escape, my secret little world. Every dress, every wig, every lipstick swipe made me feel more like myself than I ever did as Tyler. And even though I was scared someone might find out, I didn't care as much anymore. Being Tina felt right. Little did I know, that was just the beginning. Tina wasn't just a secret anymore. She wanted. I knew I couldn't keep Tina locked away forever. Staying in my apartment, alone, hidden, it was like living half a life. I loved being her, I craved it, but I was terrified of the outside world. People would never understand. People would judge. People would laugh. And yet, the thought of keeping her secret forever made my chest ache. One night, I was scrolling aimlessly through TikTok, trying to distract myself from the crushing emptiness after my breakup, and then I saw her. Or rather, someone like her. A crossdresser, live streaming, chatting, laughing, showing the world a side of themselves that I had only ever dreamed of. Comments were flying in, messages of admiration, encouragement, excitement. People were noticing her. People were actually watching. And I felt something I hadn't felt in years, a spark of hope. I remember thinking, what if I could do that? What if I could finally be Tina in a way that the world could see, without leaving the safety of my room? It sounded insane, but the idea, it thrilled me. The next few days, I built a profile for Tina. I picked photos carefully, angles that showed my best features, dresses that made me feel alive, and makeup that highlighted my favorite parts of my face. Every swipe, every tap, Every post felt like stepping closer to something I'd never dared before. At first, nothing happened. Barely any likes, no messages, nothing. I wondered if I was doing it wrong. But I kept posting, joining groups, commenting, reaching out to others who seemed like me. Slowly, I started getting attention. Small comments, private messages, a few likes here and there. Then it happened. One morning, I woke up to notifications everywhere. One of my videos had gone viral. Views skyrocketing. Followers doubling by the minute. Comments pouring in. Some were sweet, supportive. Others suggestive. But it didn't matter. Tina was being seen. Tina was being noticed. And for a moment, I felt invincible. And then panic. I froze. My chest tightened. What if someone I knew saw? What if my parents, my old friends, even my ex discovered Tina online? I deleted everything immediately. Every photo, every video, every post. My hands shook. I couldn't breathe. For weeks, I avoided dresses, wigs, even looking in the mirror. But then, one night, while cleaning my laptop, I stumbled upon an old video of me cross-dressing. Watching it, I felt that spark again. That pure, undeniable joy. The way Tina moved, the way she laughed, the way I felt alive. It hit me hard. I realized something I had been trying to ignore. Suppressing Tina made me miserable. She wasn't a phase. She wasn't a secret I could lock away forever. She was me. And I would never be happy hiding her again. So I started again, but differently this time. I posted discreetly, connected with select people, and slowly, cautiously, started exploring this new virtual world. And then she messaged me. Her name was Natasha. Her profile picture caught me off guard. She looked stunning, confident. She had the same mix of shyness and thrill in her eyes that I knew all too well. She was a closet crossdresser too. And she lived just half an hour away. I couldn't believe it. Half an hour? That close? My heart raced. We talked for hours that night. Tips, tricks, laughter, fashion advice. It felt like talking to someone who actually got me. For the first time, I didn't feel alone. And then she asked, "Would you want to meet? Maybe dress up together?" I froze. My stomach flipped. Excitement mixed with fear. Meeting in person? Really? My mind went 1,000 miles per hour. What if I look stupid? What if she judged me? What if someone saw? And yet, I couldn't say no. I spent the entire evening preparing. A cute red summer dress, black sheer pantyhose, full makeup, my new lace wig. I filmed a few videos, took selfies, everything perfect. Tina was ready. And for the first time, I realized she wasn't just a secret in my apartment anymore. She might actually exist outside of it. As I hung up the call with Natasha, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. Excitement. A little fear, sure, but also happiness. Something told me meeting her would change everything. I couldn't believe what I was about to do. Meet another crossdresser in real life? The thought terrified me, but at the same time, I knew Tina had to step out of the shadows. This could be the start of something incredible. I couldn't stop thinking about Natasha. Every notification ping on my phone made my heart skip a beat. We talked almost every day now, messaging, calling, sharing tips, sending pictures of outfits and wigs. Every conversation felt electric, like talking to someone who understood me completely. It was wild, honestly. Here I was, Tina, hidden for so long in my apartment, finally connecting with someone who wasn't just online, someone who shared the same secret, the same excitement, the same thrill of transformation. And the craziest part? She lived just half an hour away. I remember the first time she said it. My phone buzzed. I can't believe how close we are. We could actually meet. I stared at the screen for what felt like forever. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, and my stomach flipped. Meet in person? Really? My mind ran 1,000 scenarios. What if she didn't like me in real life? What if I looked awkward, clumsy, or just plain ridiculous? What if someone saw us and figured out our little secret world? And yet, I couldn't say no. I typed back, my hands shaking. Yeah, I think I'd like that. I'd love to. Her reply came almost instantly. Yay. I can't wait, we'll have so much fun. Don't worry, we'll take it slow. Just you and me. I felt a rush of excitement I hadn't felt in months. The thought of finally being Tina with someone else, it was intoxicating. Over the next few days, our chats got more detailed. Natasha told me about her favorite dresses, her favorite wigs, the little tricks she used to make herself look perfect. I share my own discoveries, my favorite outfits, the way Tina felt when I put on a new dress. We laughed at each other's mistakes. Too much blush, eyeliner that looked like a mess, dresses that zipped halfway and refused to go up. And then came the planning. We decided that Saturday afternoon would be our first meetup. Just the two of us, at her place, safe and private. She lived alone. She reassured me, and I felt a mix of excitement and nerves I hadn't experienced in years. I spent the days leading up to it preparing, picking outfits, checking my wigs, practicing makeup techniques I'd learned online. Every time I tried a new dress, I'd look in the mirror and take a deep breath. Tina was ready. My heart raced thinking about finally stepping into the real world as her, even if it was just for a few hours. The night before, I barely slept. I kept imagining every scenario. The greeting at the door, the first awkward moments, laughing at each other's attempts at makeup. I kept imagining the freedom of being Tina around someone who actually got it. Finally, the day arrived. I packed a bag with everything Tina might need. Extra outfits, shoes, wigs, makeup, every little thing that would make her feel like she was fully alive. Driving over, my heart was pounding so fast I thought it might burst. The streets blurred past me as a mix of fear and excitement collided in my chest. When I pulled up to her house, she was waiting outside. Not Tina. Natasha was in her regular clothes, looking confident, smiling. She greeted me warmly, and for a moment, all my nerves melted. Her smile was genuine, welcoming, and familiar. We stepped inside, and her apartment was cozy, tiny, full of colorful outfits, wigs, and makeup everywhere. Tina's world was finally stepping out of my apartment and into reality. I could barely contain myself. We laughed, talked, and shared stories like old friends who had known each other forever. She helped me with eyeliner, lipstick, and posing techniques. We took selfies, tried on different wigs, compared outfits. Tina was alive in a way she'd never been before. Every glance in the mirror, every compliment, every laugh felt like a celebration of who I really was. And yet, there was a tiny flicker of doubt in her eyes when she looked at me. Something unspoken. Something she hadn't said yet. I didn't know it then, but that little hint of hesitation would soon become something that tested our trust and my confidence as Tina. I was finally meeting someone like me in real life. And it was incredible, but I had no idea what was coming next. Something was about to happen that would change Tina forever. I still remember pulling up to Natasha's house like it was yesterday. My hands were sweaty, my heart racing, and every fiber of me was buzzing with excitement and fear all at once. I kept telling myself, it's just another person. You've talked to her online. Nothing can go wrong. But my mind wouldn't listen. She was waiting outside, dressed in casual clothes, looking more confident in person than in her photos. The moment she smiled at me, a little flutter hit my chest. For a second, I forgot Tina existed. I was just Tyler, awkward and nervous. "Hey, I'm so glad you came," she said, and her smile was warm, comforting. "Hi, me too," I mumbled, suddenly aware of every little thing about myself. The way my shoulders tensed, the way my hands shook, the way my heart was trying to escape my chest. We went inside, and I immediately noticed her apartment was cozy but full of colors and textures that screamed personality. Wigs, dresses, shoes, and makeup were everywhere. And in that moment, I felt it. Tina wasn't confined to my bedroom anymore. She could exist here, too. I nervously laughed. "Wow, you have a lot of stuff." She grinned. "You have no idea. Come on, let's get started. You're going to love this." That's when Tina fully stepped out. I changed into a cute red summer dress I had brought, slipped on sheer black pantyhose, and adjusted my wig. Standing in the mirror, I couldn't believe it. I looked like the Tina I had imagined for years, but this time, it wasn't just me alone. Natasha, was here, seeing it and appreciating it. Natasha helped me fix my eyeliner and lipstick. She suggested little poses for photos, complimented me when I got something right, and laughed with me when I messed up. Every laugh, every glance in the mirror, every touch of her hand as she adjusted my wig made Tina feel real, alive, validated. We spent hours trying on different outfits, taking pictures, and making videos. Each moment was thrilling, addictive, and slightly terrifying. Tina had always been my secret, but now she had a witness. Someone who understood. Someone who wouldn't judge. And then there was a knock at the door. Both of us froze. My stomach dropped, and my heart skipped a beat. Who could it be? A neighbor? A delivery? Or, worse, someone who might see us like this? Natasha whispered, "Don't worry. I'll handle it. But there's something I need to tell you first." Her voice was calm, but I could feel the tension in it. My mind raced. What could she possibly tell me that I didn't already know? Something in her eyes warned me that this little adventure might not be as carefree as I had imagined. I took a deep breath and reminded myself, Tina was ready. I had to be ready. Even with the fear, even with the unknown waiting behind that door, I felt a thrill I hadn't felt in years. Tina was alive, and nothing, not even a knock at the door, could take that away. Something was about to happen that neither of us expected, and it would test Tina in ways I couldn't have imagined. Could I really be Tina in the real world? We were laughing, taking selfies, and trying on another dress when the knock came again. This time, louder, closer. My heart sank. I froze in place, sheer panic rushing through me like icy water. Tina, who usually felt fearless in front of a mirror, suddenly felt fragile, exposed, and terrified. Natasha looked at me, eyes wide but calm. "Okay, that's probably the delivery guy or a neighbor. Just stay calm." I nodded, but my fingers shook. Every instinct screamed at me, "Hide, run. Never let anyone see you like this." But it was too late. Tina was already here, and stepping back into Tyler's world wasn't an option. Natasha went to the door and opened it slightly. A man's voice called out, asking about a package. Relief washed over me for a moment, but then I realized my wig was slightly off, my makeup a little smudged, my dress just a touch too tight. What if he noticed? What if he peeked in? What if he recognized me? I wanted to shrink into the floor. Tina's confidence wavered. I felt like a deer frozen in headlights. The delivery guy finally left, package in hand, and Natasha closed the door with a sigh. See? Nothing happened. But it did happen. Something inside me had shifted. I realized just how vulnerable Tina could be in the real world. For the first time, I understood the stakes. Online, nobody knew me. Hidden at home, nobody could see me. But out here, even the smallest interruption could expose everything. I sat down, hands trembling, and Natasha joined me. She smiled softly. "It's okay, Tina. This happens to all of us the first time. I was nervous too, but you're amazing. You handled it." I tried to smile back, but I couldn't shake the fear. For the first time, I questioned whether Tina could survive outside the safety of my apartment. Could I survive outside? Then came another challenge. Natasha had a surprise for me. "I have someone I want you to meet," she said, eyes sparkling. My stomach dropped. Someone else? Already? She led me to another room, and it was a small group of her close friends. Other crossdressers. My heart was pounding so hard I thought they'd hear it. Tina had never faced this before. Never. I froze. I wanted to run, to vanish. My cheeks burned. I felt small, exposed, completely out of my comfort zone. The voices of strangers, even friends, seemed louder, judging. I felt Tyler creeping back, timid and weak. Natasha leaned close. "Hey, just relax. You're safe here. Everyone's like us. You'll be fine." I nodded, barely breathing. But then, as we started talking, something incredible happened. Their acceptance, their laughter, their shared excitement, it melted the fear. Tina was no longer just a fantasy in my apartment. She was real. And here, she could exist fully without judgment. By the end of the day, I was exhausted but exhilarated. I had faced fear, vulnerability, and exposure. I had survived. And for the first time, I realized that Tina wasn't fragile, she was strong. Still, the day had left its mark. I couldn't ignore the reality. The world outside wasn't always safe, and Tina would always have to navigate fear, judgment, and exposure. But for the first time, I felt ready to try. That day changed everything. Tina had faced her first real challenge and survived. But this was only the beginning. The real transformation, the acceptance, and the freedom were yet to come. After that day with Natasha and her friends, something inside me shifted. Tina wasn't just a secret I hid away anymore. She wasn't just a fantasy I could slip into when life got lonely. She was me. And for the first time, I felt it in every part of myself, my chest, my back, my fingers, my smile. Tina was alive, real, and ready for the world. The days that followed were incredible. I started stepping out in public, slowly at first. A quick coffee run in a cute dress, a walk in the park with Natasha by my side, laughing at how nervous we both were. Every step was terrifying, yes, but every step also felt like victory. Tina was no longer confined to my apartment. She could exist anywhere. I remember one afternoon, standing outside a cafe, wearing a new pastel dress Natasha had picked out for me. My hands shook, my heart raced, and I felt like every stranger walking by could see straight through me. And maybe in some ways they could. But for the first time, I didn't care. I was smiling. I was laughing. I was Tina. And that was enough. Natasha and I continued meeting, sharing makeup tips, trying new outfits, and exploring this part of ourselves together. The friendship had turned into something deeper, a bond that was unspoken but unbreakable. She understood every fear, every thrill, every tiny insecurity. With her, Tina felt safe, celebrated, and free. But the real change wasn't just external. It was inside me. I had spent so long hiding, so long suppressing a part of myself that craved freedom, expression, and connection. Tina taught me that being vulnerable wasn't weakness, it was strength. Expressing yourself fully, even in the face of fear, was power. And I realized I had been powerful all along. I just hadn't let myself be. I started blending Tina and Tyler in ways that felt natural. I could still be Tyler when I needed to, but Tina had a permanent place in my life. I stopped apologizing for her, for me. I embraced both sides, every inch of me, every curve, every secret smile. The world still holds fear. There will always be judgment. But Tina doesn't run anymore. She stands tall, walks proud, and shines in her own light. I've learned to love myself in ways I never thought possible. And the best part? This is just the beginning. Natasha and I have plans, more meetups, more adventures, more ways to celebrate who we are. Tina isn't just a name, a dress, or a persona.
She's life. She's joy. She's me.
So if you've ever felt trapped by fear, hiding a part of yourself, take it from me. Let it out. Let it shine. You never know how alive you can feel until you step into your own light. Because for me, discovering Tina wasn't the end of my journey. It was the start of living fully, freely, and unapologetically. This is my story, my secret, my truth. Tina changed my life, and maybe if you've been holding back a part of yourself, she can change yours too.